Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we're cracking open a seriously unhinged, wildly entertaining chapter of gaming history. We all know the Grand Theft Auto series for its gripping narratives and those incredibly detailed open worlds, but let's be entirely honest with ourselves for a second. Sometimes you just want to ignore the missions, spawn a massive tank right in the middle of downtown traffic, and embrace absolute sandbox anarchy. So we're diving into the ultimate, complete working guide to GTA cheat codes across all platforms, pulling directly from the absolute best resources on the subject. Our source material hits the nail on the head with this one. Cheat codes are a time capsule of pure sandbox fun. And honestly, that perfectly captures exactly why we're still obsessing over these codes decades after we first typed them into a chunky beige keyboard. There's just this very specific, pure kind of joy in causing absolute mayhem and then magically walking away from a screen-filling wanted level with a couple of quick keystrokes. It's really all about breaking the rules of a game that's literally built around breaking the rules.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got four main acts on the agenda today: Modern Mayhem in GTA 5, the Definitive Edition Classics, cell phone cheats in GTA 4, and finally, the golden rules of cheating.
Act 1, Modern Mayhem in GTA 5.
So Grand Theft Auto V is obviously still the latest mainline entry in the series, right? It's a total technical marvel that spans multiple console generations. But if you happen to be playing on a PC, bending its physics actually beautifully simple. Right in the middle of gameplay, you just hit the tilde key. You know, that little squiggly line usually hiding up in the top left of your keyboard? That pops open the command console. You type your cheat code, hit enter, and boom. The world instantly bends to your will. It's incredibly quick, letting you react entirely on the fly. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer variety of world-altering effects you've got right at your fingertips on PC. You type painkiller, and you get exactly that: 5 whole minutes of total absolute invincibility. Turtle instantly maxes out your health and armor. But then, we get into the really weird stuff. Typing Skyfall literally spawns your character way up high in midair, which almost always leads to a frantic scramble, let me tell you. Or if you need an immediate getaway, just type Buzz Off, and it instantly drops a fully loaded buzzard attack helicopter right in front of you. It's ultimate power, instantly accessible.
But if you're on a console, it is a completely different ballgame. To get that exact same invincibility on an Xbox or PlayStation, you have to rapidly punch in these specific button combinations mid-game without even pausing. Just picture it. You're completely surrounded by in-game police, your health bar is blinking red, and you're just frantically mashing right X, right left, right R1, right left, X triangle, relying entirely on pure muscle memory to save your life. It's a massive adrenaline rush all on its own.
All right, before we get too carried away, we definitely need to pause for a serious reality check. Rockstar draws a very hard line in the sand when it comes to GTA 5. Everything we just talked about, that is strictly for the single-player story mode. In the offline sandbox, they totally encourage the madness, but in GTA Online, no way. There are absolutely zero functional cheat codes. Rockstar maintains a super strict zero-tolerance policy there. Try to use cheats or inject mods into GTA Online, and you are looking at a permanent ban of your account. The chaos is fantastic for sure, but keep it strictly for single player.
Moving right along to Act 2, the Definitive Edition Classics.
Let's take a quick trip back in time to the 2021 remasters of those iconic PS2 era titles: San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 3. Now, the absolute best part about the Definitive Edition is that while the graphics got a shiny overhaul, those classic cheat systems stayed beautifully, perfectly intact. Honestly, for anyone who played San Andreas back in the day, just hearing the word HESOYAM probably triggers a massive wave of nostalgia. Am I right? It wasn't just a code, it was basically a way of life. It was the ultimate survival tool for gamers of that era. When things looked incredibly dire, typing this in instantly granted you full health, a fresh set of armor, and a very sweet $250,000 right in your pocket. A literal get-out-of-jail-free card.
Now, what's really interesting about these codes is how they fundamentally changed the way we actually engaged with the game world. Sure, Baggy Vix gave you infinite health, and AIWPRTN dropped a Rhino tank onto the street. But think about Rocket Man for a second. Spawning a jetpack completely shattered the boundaries of map exploration. Suddenly, mountains and skyscrapers weren't roadblocks anymore. They were launch pads. And Jump Jet gave you a Hydra fighter jet on demand. You weren't just playing a crime simulator anymore. You were basically playing a superhero game. And man, those foundational codes from Vice City and Liberty City and GTA 3 were just as wild. Gesundheit in GTA 3 or Aspirin in Vice City healed you up instantly, But then you had stuff like seaways, which literally let you drive your sports cars straight onto the ocean like it was an interstate. Or give us a tank, casually dropping a massive piece of military hardware into some grimy New York-style alleyway. Whether you typed them out on a PC or frantically mashed them on a controller, these codes turned those iconic cities into absolute unrestricted playgrounds.
Act 3. Cell phone cheats in GTA 4.
Let's step forward a little bit to 2008. The developers really wanted to maintain a slightly more grounded, gritty tone for Liberty City in Grand Theft Auto 4. So, instead of a magical command console or weird controller inputs, you actually used protagonist Nico Bellic's in-game mobile phone. You'd bring up the phone, pull up the dial pad, and punch in a specific phone number. You were literally calling the cheats in, and the real genius of this innovation was that once you dialed a number successfully, it saved right to a cheats menu directly on the phone. You never had to memorize that whole string of numbers again. A total game changer.
Every single GTA 4 player needed these essential numbers saved in their contacts. Dialing 482-555-0100 instantly hooked you up with full health, armor, and a whole suite of advanced weapons. Cops closing in on you? A quick call to 267-555-0100 completely wiped your wanted level clean. Or if you needed to take to the skies, 359-555-0100 dropped in an Annihilator helicopter right beside you. Such an incredibly immersive way to break the rules.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Act 4, the golden rules of cheating. Okay, while bending the matrix to your will is an absolute blast, it does come with a few technical strings attached. Let's rapid fire through these crucial warnings because with great power comes the very real responsibility of managing your save files. First up, the absolute second you activate a cheat, achievements and trophies lock for that session. You will not earn them. Second, autosave gets immediately disabled, which leads us to the most important rule of all, always save your game manually before you go on a cheating rampage, because some codes can actually permanently glitch your story missions. Oh, and if you're a PC player, setting up macro keys for codes is totally fine, but again, offline only. Lastly, if you're playing those classic ports on mobile, just remember there's a dedicated cheat input built right into the pause menu to make things super easy.
So this brings us to the ultimate trade-off that pretty much every GTA player faces at some point during their playthrough, that tricky balance between structured achievement and explosive, unbridled chaos. You really have to ask yourself, is that ultimate sandbox freedom actually worth sacrificing your game progression? So, the crucial point is, whether you're typing HESOYAM on a classic PS2 setup, frantically pushing controller buttons in GTA 5, or dialing up a helicopter on Nico's cell phone, these cheat codes truly are an incredible time capsule of gaming history. They're this perfect reminder that sometimes, games are just meant to be unpredictable, ridiculous playgrounds. Remember to save your game first, enjoy the anarchy, but always keep that chaos offline. For more, visit our website, Fair Solution. But I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. When you boot up your next game, are you going for that legitimate 100% completion, or are you going to spawn a flaming tank and let the whole system burn? Thanks for joining this explainer.